Hello students, myself Dr. Muhammad Ahmed. I welcome you all to the 40th lecture of Mathematics 2. Students, up to the previous lecture we have completed Unit 4, which is beta special functions. In that special functions we have seen special functions like beta function, gamma function, error function. Then at the end of previous unit we have discussed power series method and Legendre's polynomials, right? And in today's class we are going to start unit 5, which is Laplace transforms. So let us put the heading unit 5 Laplace transforms. So in this unit we will see how the functions given in terms of t, that is f of t, can be transformed to other form, right? By using certain transformation. The transformation is called as Laplace transformation because the transformation was given by Laplace, mathematician Laplace. So that is why the transformation is named as Laplace transforms. Why we transform generally? Suppose if we are not able to study something in a particular form, then we try to transform that particular thing to other form by using certain transformation. There in that we will study, suppose what I want to say is, suppose here some matter or something is in this position which we are not able to study here. Then what we do, by using certain transformation we will transform this to some other form, right, for which we will be able to study. Here we do the study, we will study the matter, we will understand this. Then whatever the transformation we have used, we will revert that transformation, and whatever we have studied, by reverting the transformation, by taking the inverse of the transformation, whatever the information studied here, we try to bring that back to here, right? So that is why majorly in studies this type of transformations are used. So out of that, here in mathematics, this Laplace transform has a lot of applications in engineering. Like this is used in studying Laplace transform as well as Fourier transform. These are used to study signals and systems in communication, for wave propagations and for signal processing, for image processing. In these fields, this Laplace transform and of Fourier transform and Fourier series, these concepts are having lot of applications. So in your syllabus we don't have any applications of this except for solving few differential equations. So one more thing is, these Laplace transforms have applications in solving differential equations also. You know already that how the differential equations can be solved in unit 2 and 3. Unit 2 was differential equations of first order, unit 3 was differential equations of higher order. We have discussed, right? We have seen various methods to solve differential equations, but few differential equations are there for which classical methods are not available, right? For solving those type of equations we need special transformations called Laplace transformations. So that is there in your syllabus. At the end of this unit we will see how certain differential equations can be solved by using Laplace transformation. That is called as applications of Laplace transform to solve differential equations, ordinary differential equations. That is there in your syllabus, and that question is very, very important. So now we have to start understanding what is the meaning of Laplace transform. Then we will establish few properties on Laplace transform and try to solve various problems, right? So let us see the definition of Laplace transform now. Suppose I am having a function, so I am going to define what is the meaning of Laplace transform. Suppose I am having a function f of t which is defined for t greater than 0. I am having a function f of t which is defined for the positive side of t, right? We are not discussing about the negative side or at the 0. We are discussing only a function f of t is there which is defined for t greater than 0. Then Laplace transform of this function is denoted by, so notation is denoted by Laplace transform of L of f of t. So it is studied as Laplace transform of f of t. Notation is L of flower brackets L of f of t, or one more notation is there, f bar of s. See, for f of t, the transformation, when we transform the given function f of t by using this Laplace transform, then the notation is Laplace transform of f of t or f bar of s, and it is defined as, so Laplace transform of f of t equals to, the definition is integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t dt. This is the definition of Laplace transform. How it is defined? Integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t dt. Laplace transform is defined as Laplace transform of f of t equals to integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t dt. This is the Laplace transform of f of t. The notation is, when we transform, what we are getting? We are getting, when we evaluate this integral, we will get a function in terms of x. That function is denoted by f bar of s. So Laplace transform of f of t is f bar of s, and it is defined as integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t dt. Provided this integral exists, provided the integral exists, because it's an improper integral, so most of the improper integrals may not exist. So this, if this integral exists, then this integral is said to be the Laplace transform of f of t, right? This is the definition of Laplace transform. You have to memorize this definition. You have to remember always throughout this unit we will be using this definition, right? Integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t dt. Now we will see a property of Laplace transform called linearity property. Of Laplace transforms. LT means, from now onwards I will be writing LT, which means linear, which means Laplace transform. So now we are going to study, we are going to see the linearity property of Laplace transform. So let us see what does this says. The property, the statement says that it will be in the form of a theorem. If I am having a function f of t whose Laplace transform is given by, Laplace transform of f of t is given by f bar of s, suppose this, and I am having another function g of t whose Laplace transform is given by, Laplace transform of g of t is given by g bar of s, then this linearity property of Laplace transform says that if I find the Laplace transform of c1 into f of t plus c2 into g of t, for this if I compute the Laplace transform, then this is nothing but c1 into Laplace transform of f of t plus c2 into Laplace transform of g of t, which is nothing but c1 into, what is Laplace transform of f of t? Laplace transform of f of t is f bar of s. So c1 into f bar of s plus c2 into g bar of s, right? This is what the linearity property of Laplace transform says. What it says? It says that if Laplace transform of f of t is f bar of s and Laplace transform of g of t is g bar of s, then if we find the Laplace transform of c1 into f of t plus c2 into g of t, then this is nothing but c1 into Laplace transform of f of t plus c2 into Laplace transform of g of t. What is the meaning? This Laplace transform can be taken on f of t and on g of t. This is possible. This linear distribution is possible. That is what this linearity property of Laplace transform says. Now let us see, we have to prove this. So what is given? It is given that Laplace transform of f of t, we know that Laplace transform of f of t according to the definition, it is integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t dt, right? What it is given? It is given to be f bar of s. The same way Laplace transform of g of t is integral 0 to infinite e power minus st g of t dt, right, which is given to be g bar of s. Now let us consider the left hand side. We have to prove this, actually we have to prove this. So we are considering the left hand side, Laplace transform of c1 into f of t plus c2 into g of t, right, which is equal to integral 0 to infinite, according to the definition it is e power minus st into whatever function is there here, that we have to write. So here we are having C1 into f of t plus C2 into g of t. So that I am going to write C1 into f of t plus C2 into g of t into dt. This is according to the definition. Now from the integrals I can write, because C1 is a constant, I can write this outside, C1 into integral 0 to infinite e power minus st. This f of t can be taken inside, so f of t dt plus, so I am separating the terms, plus C2 into integral 0 to infinite e power minus st g of t dt. This is possible because integral is distributive over addition and constants can be written outside of the integral. By using that property of integral, I can write like this. Then from this integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t dt can be written as Laplace transform of f of t. So I can write here this is equal to C1 into Laplace transform of f of t. The same way I can write here C2 into Laplace transform of g of t, right, which is nothing but C1 into, what is Laplace transform of f of t, f bar of s, I can write like this also, f bar of s plus C2 into g bar of s. So this is what the linearity property of Laplace transform says. I can separate this, I can distribute this Laplace transform over C1 f of t plus C2 g of t as C1 into Laplace transform of f of t plus C2 into Laplace transform of g of t. This is what the linearity property of Laplace transform says. Now we will see Laplace transform of some elementary or standard functions. After establishing that formulae, like we will find the Laplace transform of 1. In place of f of t, we will consider 1. That is the first formula. Then Laplace transform of e power at, then Laplace transform of sin at, then Laplace transform of cos at, then Laplace transform of sin h at, cos h at. So these formulae we are going to establish now. Once we establish this, we go for solving various types of problems based on those standard formulae. So now we are going to see Laplace transform of elementary or standard functions, right. So I am writing here, I am putting the side heading Laplace transform of some standard functions or elementary functions. Right, this is the side heading. So out of that, first formula or first Laplace transform or first standard function is Laplace transform of 1. It says that Laplace transform of 1 will be 1 by s provided s greater than 0. Now we will prove this, how the Laplace transform of 1 will become 1 by s. So we know basically what is the definition of Laplace transform. According to the definition of Laplace transform of any function f of t, it is given that integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t dt, right. This is the basic definition of Laplace transform. Now we need the Laplace transform of 1. So in place of f of t, we have to consider 1. According to the definition, it is integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t. Now f of t is 1. So 1 into dt, right, which is equal to, now 1 e power minus st. For this we have to integrate with respect to t. Integration of e power minus st with respect to t is e power minus st by minus s, and the limits are from t equals to 0 to infinite. Now substitute the upper limit in place of t. So what we will get, e power minus infinite minus, now substitute the lower limit in place of t. So e power 0 by minus s, which is equal to, what is the value of e power minus infinite? Already we have discussed it. The value of this e power minus infinite is 0, minus e power 0 is 1 by minus s. So finally we will get 1 by s provided this s is greater than 0. Therefore what we have established? Therefore we have established that Laplace transform of 1 is 1 by s, right, provided s greater than 0. This is our first formula, right? First formula of Laplace transform of 1 equals to 1 by s. The same way, now we will consider the second formula, that is Laplace transform of e power at. Laplace transform of e power at. It says that the value of this will be 1 by s minus a. Laplace transform of e power at is 1 by s minus a. Let us prove this. How? Let us find this. How we are going to get Laplace transform of e power at as 1 by s minus a. Again we know that Laplace transform of f of t, the formula is integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t dt, right? Now we need Laplace transform of, in place of f of t we are having e power at, where a is a constant. So integral 0 to infinite e power minus st. In place of f of t we have to write e power at into dt, right? Here actually this stands when s minus a is greater than 0 or s is greater than a, right? Why I am writing this? Because when if s minus a becomes 0 or s minus a becomes negative, this formula does not stand, does not work well. So that is why we consider s minus a to be greater than 0, right? So now we got in place of f of t we wrote e power at. So we got like this. Then this can be written as integral 0 to infinite e power minus of s minus a into t into dt, right? I am combining this because the bases are equal, powers can be added. Minus of s, then minus will become plus at, right? I can write like this. Now integrate this. Now integration of this is e power minus of s minus a into t by minus of s minus a, right? This is the integration. Now put the limits t equals to 0 to infinite. Now put the upper limit in place of t. So e power minus infinite we will get, which is 0, minus, now put t equals to 0, so e power 0, that will become 1 by minus of s minus a, which is equal to, this minus will become plus, so 1 by s minus a, right? Therefore what we have proved? We have proved that Laplace transform of e power at is defined to be 1 by s minus a. This is the second formula, right? This is the second formula. Laplace transform of e power at equals to 1 by s minus a. Laplace transform of e power at equals to 1 by s minus a. This, for proving all these standard formulae, we will be using the basic definition of Laplace transform, which is integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t dt. Now consider the third one. So third formula that we are going to see now is Laplace transform of sin at. Sin at. It is given by a by s square plus a square. Let us see how we are going to get this. Again the same formula I have to use. So we know Laplace transform of f of at equals to, I am not going to write the formula repeated times, directly I will use this. Laplace transform of sin at is equal to, according to the definition, it is integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t. F of t is sin at dt, right? Now for integrating this e power a t and sin at, e power minus st and sin at, we use a formula of integration. See, we cannot apply here UV rule, we cannot apply integration by parts, all those formulae does not work here for this kind of integration. So we use formulae called integral. We are having two important formulae in integration that you have studied in intermediate. E power ax sin bx dx, integral e power ax sin bx dx, whose value is given by e power ax by a square plus b square, a sin bx minus b cos bx, right? And one more formula is integral e power ax cos bx dx, whose value is given by e power ax by a square plus b square, a cos bx plus b sin bx, right? These are the two formulae. First one is e power integral e power ax sin bx. It is given by e power ax by, the value of this integral is given by e power ax by a square plus b square a sin bx minus b cos bx. Actually, for solving this problem we need only this formula. I am writing this formula because I am going to give you one problem as homework. In that we will be using this formula also. This formula says that the value of integral e power ax cos bx dx is e power ax by a square plus b square a cos bx plus b sin bx. Now by using this formula, let us find this integral, which is equal to, see, in place of a I am having minus s. See, in place of a I am having minus s, and in place of b I am having a. Right, in place of b I am having a. So these two values I have to use. In place of a I am having minus s, in place of x I am having t. In place of x I am having t. Right, in place of x I am having t, in place of a I am having minus s, in place of b I am having a. Right. So use this formula. The value of this integral is e power ax by a square plus b square. So e power ax is nothing but e power a is minus s, x is t, e power minus st by a square plus b square minus s whole square, which is nothing but s square plus b square, matlab b square means a square. Right. So we have done up to this. Now a sin bx, what is a? A is minus s sin bx, b is a here, x is t, right, then minus b, what is b? B is a cos bx, b is a, x is t, right. So this is the integration. Now we have to substitute the limits of t equals to 0 to infinite. Now let us substitute the limit. When we substitute the upper limit in place of t, e power minus infinite, this will become 0, e power minus infinite will become 0. So everything will become 0. Now substitute the lower limit, minus lower limit, e power 0, e power 0 is 1 by s square plus a square into minus s sin at. In place of t substitute 0, sin 0. So this will become 0 minus a cos 0, this will become 1. So what will remain finally? See, this will become 0, this minus and this minus will become plus. So a by s square plus a square will remain. Therefore what we have proved? Laplace transform of sin at. We have proved that Laplace transform of sin at is given by a by s square plus a square. Right, this is the third formula. First formula is Laplace transform of 1 is 1 by s. Second formula is Laplace transform of e power at is 1 by s minus a. And third formula is Laplace transform of sin at equals to a by s square plus a square. Now next fourth one is, fourth one I am going to give you as homework. Fourth one is Laplace transform of cos at. It is given by s by s square plus a square. Right, this is the fourth formula. See, third formula is Laplace transform of sin at equals to a by s square plus a square. Laplace transform of cos at is, instead of a we are having s here, s by s square plus a square. This problem you can take as homework. You can solve this. See, as we are having here e power minus st sin at, we will be having in this problem, we will be having e power minus st cos at, e power ax cos bx form. So you have to use this formula, right? For solving this question we have to use this formula. Take that as homework. Now we will see the fifth one. Fifth formula we are going to see. Right, fifth one is Laplace transform of now sin hyperbolic, sin h at. Laplace transform of sin h at is given by a by s square minus a square, provided modulus of s is greater than a. Right? Why we are writing this? This is defined well when this condition is satisfied. Right? Now we will prove this. So we know one formula which is sin h at. Sin h theta is given by e power theta minus e power minus theta by 2. So I have to use this. So I'll write like this: sin h at, the value of sin h at in view of this formula is given by e power theta. So, e power at minus e power minus theta, e power minus at by 2. Now, take the Laplace transform of this, Laplace transform of sin hat, which is given by 1 by 2 into Laplace transform of e power at minus Laplace transform of e power minus at, right, which is 1 by 2. From the second formula, we are having the value of Laplace transform of e power at is 1 by s minus a. From the second formula, I am writing this. So, under this, what will be the value of this? Same, right, 1 by s minus a, then minus. So, instead of a, if I am having minus a, then what it will become? If a is there, I am writing minus a here. If minus a is there, I have to write here plus a, that is 1 by s plus a. Now, simplify this, 1 by 2, take the LCM. When I take the LCM, it will become a minus b into a plus b form. So, s square minus a square I will get. Now, this s plus a will come here, s plus a will come here, then minus of s minus a will come, minus of s minus a, which is equal to 1 by 2. See, in the denominator, s square minus a square is there, s plus a minus s plus a. Now, this minus s plus s will get cancelled. So, what will remain here? 2a by 2 into s square minus a square. Now, this 2 will get cancelled. Therefore, finally, what will remain? Laplace transform of sin hat equals to a by s square minus a square, right. This is the fifth formula, Laplace transform of sin hat equals to a by s square minus a square. Now, the sixth one I am going to give you as homework. Sixth formula, the same, instead of sin we are having Laplace transform of cos hat, which is given by, instead of a by s square minus a square, we will be having s by s square minus a square, provided this condition, right. So, this is the sixth one. This is the sixth formula, right. So far we have seen Laplace transform of 1, Laplace transform of e power at, Laplace transform of sin at, Laplace transform of cos at, then Laplace transform of sin hat, Laplace transform of cos hat, right. So, cos hat formula will be, instead of sin hat, if cos hat is there, formula will be e power theta plus e power minus theta by 2. So, that formula we have to use, right. Then next, seventh one, seventh formula is Laplace transform of t power n. It is given by n factorial by s power n plus 1, right, where n is positive integer. Right. Laplace transform of t power n is given by n factorial by s power n plus 1, where n is positive integer, right. Now, we know the basic definition of Laplace transform of f of t is given by integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t dt. Now, in place of f of t, we are having Laplace transform of t power n. So, according to this, it will be integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t is t power n dt. See, it is in the form of gamma n equals to integral 0 to infinite e power minus x power n minus 1 dx. This is the definition of gamma function. So, this definition, if you see this integral carefully, it is in this form, but in place of x, in place of e power minus x, we are having e power minus st. So, to make this as this one, we take the substitution, put st equals to s. So, put st equals to x, because in place of st I need x. So, that is why I am putting st equals to x. This implies, what is t? X by s, right. Then what is dt? Dx by s, right? Limits will be 0 to infinite only. So therefore, what will happen, left hand side integral, left hand side Laplace transform of t power n equals to integral 0 to infinite e power minus st, e power minus x, t power n, t is x by s whole power n, dt, dt is dx by s, which is equal to, here you see s power n will be there and here s power 1 is there. So s power n plus 1, that does not depend on the integration and can be taken outside of integration, because integration is with respect to x and s will be treated as constant. So that is taken outside. Remaining is integral 0 to infinite e power minus x, x power n dx. Now my intention is to use this formula. For using this, I need here n minus 1. And how to write this as n minus 1? I can write this as n plus 1 minus 1. So use this formula. In place of n, I am having n plus 1. So it will be gamma n plus 1. So gamma n plus 1 by s power n plus 1, right? This is the value of, therefore the value of Laplace transform of t power n is gamma n plus 1 by s power n plus 1, provided n plus 1 should be greater than 0, no? Gamma n is defined for n greater than 0. So this gamma n plus 1 stands well when n plus 1 is greater than 0, right? That is s is that is n is greater than minus 1. From this n plus 1 greater than 0, I can write n is greater than minus 1, right? This is for any n greater than minus 1. But if n is positive integer, then what will happen? If, because in the question it is given that n is, if n is positive integer, right? If n is positive integer, then what will happen? Laplace transform of t power n will be, see, we have proved that if n is positive integer, then gamma n plus 1 is nothing but n factorial. This we have proved in beta and gamma function, that is unit 4. Gamma n plus 1 will be n factorial. So I can write here n factorial by s power n plus 1. So these are the two definitions of Laplace transform of t power n. Laplace transform of t power n will be gamma n plus 1 by s power n plus 1, provided n is not an integer, n may be anything greater than minus 1. If n is specifically an integer, then Laplace transform of t power n should be n factorial by s power n plus 1. So you have to remember these two formulae also. So all these formulae we will be using while solving problems, right? So these two, whatever highlighted, these two formulae are important. So basically we have established nearly 8 formulae, including this also 8 formulae we have established. So let me recall all those 8 formulae. See, first formula is Laplace transform. First in this unit we have established the definition. We have defined the definition. Laplace transform of f of t equals to integral 0 to infinite e power minus st f of t dt. This is the basic definition of Laplace transform. By using this basic definition, we prove that Laplace transform of 1 is 1 by s. This is the first formula of Laplace transform. Then second one is Laplace transform of e power at, which is 1 by s minus a. Then third formula is Laplace transform of sin at, which is given by a by s square plus a square. Then fourth one is Laplace transform of cos at, which is given by s square plus a square. Then fifth one is Laplace transform of sin h at, hyperbolic sin h at, which is given by a by s square minus a square. Then Laplace transform of cos h at is given by s square minus a square. Then seventh and eighth formulae are, seventh one is Laplace transform of t power n, where n is greater than minus 1. It may not be integer. Then gamma n plus 1 by s power n plus 1. Specifically, if n is positive integer, then Laplace transform of t power n is given by n factorial by s power n plus 1. So these are the things that we have discussed in today's class. First we have defined definition of Laplace transform, then we have seen linearity property of Laplace transform, then we have found nearly 8 formulae for Laplace transform, that is for standard functions like 1 e power at, sin at, cos at, sin h at, cos h at, then t power n. So by using these formulae we are going to solve various problems in next class. That will be discussed in next class. I am going to end today's session here. See you all in the next class. Thank you.